Hello everyone! Ecodome Aldani is the dungeon added with patch 11.2 Ghost of Karesh. What's interesting is that they made a big point out of the dungeon, story-wise, taking place after the raid. And the raid takes place after the campaign, meaning that we've taken care of the big bads and ended up with whatever result might come out of our dealing in the Mana Forge. Karesh still stands and now looks towards the future. The Ecodomes represent the best hope of restoring life to Karesh. Ecodome Aldani was built in the bones of one of the most sacred sites on Karesh. A Wastelander invasion has ripped open the dome, exposing it to destruction. Venari has called for help to keep all those resources from being wasted, and Karesh's greatest hope from being destroyed. We fight against Azekar, connected to the Devourers, which are creatures they added with the Shadowlands. Devourers devour their way from the in-between into the domain of death, and they started eating at its borders. I remember speculation back in the day that the in-between could potentially be what the Shadowlands was meant to be before it got all orderly and machine-like. But that never became a thing. Instead, they showed up, drawn to the energy to devour, and the same goes for Azekar. Devourers often travel in the wake of the great Devourer worms to reach new realms to feast on. Azekar is no exception. It burrows into a new land, seeking to satiate its endless hunger. Sometimes even other Devourers fall prey, but the Devourers still answer Azekar's call to consume or be consumed in its vortex of endless hunger.
Your pursuit is pointless! Xal'atath lives! My oaths stand! This place falls! All of this destruction for the traitor?
Tabat and Awash, the second bosses. As Soul-Scribe's right hand, Tabat will stop at nothing to see your will done. The Beastmaster has bound himself to the wild Warpstalker, Awash, and mastered its unique talents. Now the pair act as one, slipping in and out of phase to strike any who threaten the Soul-Scribe's revenge.
You built this place on the High Temple of Karesh and questioned my wrath!
It was the only place our plans stood a chance of success.
The Revel brought nothing but destruction! You have no right to this power!
We did fail you, but destroying the dome will only hurt Karesh.
The Soul-Scribe once led the oracles of Karesh, and I'd compare the oracles to our Harnir, those that listen to nature, communicate with the land and the world's soul inside. But the destruction of a world drove them into the wastelands, where they began a crusade of revenge. She is given ancient oaths to destroy the enemies of Sal'Hadar and all that they have built. With her ancient powers rediscovered, the fate of this dome looks grim. Being an oracle might mean more than just communicate with the world's soul, as her fight mechanic involves creating echoes of our fate, which we need to pick up again or will take a lot of damage. You have to imagine that the Soul-Scribe is quite conflicted. Originally, they were all about the world's soul within the planet, so Venari's oath of wanting to restore as much of the world as they can, it should line up with the Soul-Scribe's wishes, even if the location is not to her satisfaction. But perhaps she is against us more so due to those ancient oaths she took. The oaths are not just a promise to the Ethereals and the brokers, they mean something more, going so far that the king uses oaths against us in his fights, and if we don't get rid of them, we'll become a thrall to his will. Is that what happened here? Did those oaths bind it to someone who in secret was allied to Dimensius and didn't want what was best for Karesh?
So much wasted. All to honor an oath for a dying, treacherous king. But there was always the greater oath, to save Karesh.
And what about the king's fate? He is the second to last boss that we deal with. Is he still around to enforce those oaths, to have the Soul-Scribe follow his will? Venari describes it as all to honor the oath for a dying, treacherous king. So not dead, but dying? I'm curious on those details, and I wonder how the story flows from the events of the raid into the Ecodome into what comes next with Midnight. But all that and more will have to wait. I'll now post a full playthrough for those interested. And as always, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Until next time. See ya.
Soul-Scribe has betrayed us.
So this dungeon...
She brought down our defenses, and her wastelanders are destroying the domes. They must be stopped.
The story of the
With
dungeon
our
takes...
defenses down, there is nothing to keep the Devourers out. My people stand no chance.
Okay, so this dungeon takes place after the raid. Story-wise. Yeah, we don't have a DPS meter. They'll never know. And why are the brokers here? So, they've established a connection between the brokers and the Ethereals. On live right now, you got lore walking with Lore Walker Joe.
The Devourers seem to be coming from the Annex.
In that, he, if you haven't checked...
at the source, so we can return our attention to Soul-Scribe.
Can I talk? Yeah? Alright, thank you. If you haven't checked out lore walking yet, lore walking is an amazing feature in which they teach you the lore of
Look
WoW.
out. Something is coming up.
Inside of WoW, and it's amazing. Venari faked her death in the Shadowlands. And we knew this from like a toy, and we got like a letter, and they explained like, I'm not really dead. Just keep your mouth shut. So we knew she was still out there. And at the end of lore walking, she shows up, and he's like, "Hey, Locus-walker, long time no see, homie." And Locus-walker was like, "Oh man, Venari, I haven't seen you since the days of Karesh. Remember when our home world of Karesh was destroyed?" And she's like, "Yeah, I remember. We should totally go do something about that. See you in the next patch." That's how it went down. So that's how they established, like, oh, they're actually, you know, related. And turns out that the brokers use like a different kind of suit to survive in the Shadowlands. Compared to the other Ethereals that with the bandages and whatnot. Whee!
With that thing dead, we can return to the real problem.
Yeah. Oh, it was engineering, was it? Ah, there you go. There you go. So that's why. Also, a thing that they're doing for the dungeons is they're going to add a waystone so that you know more clearly that you now have a resurrection spot. Yes, Ethereals are connected to the brokers. Yes. The way that it works is, I thought that once upon a time the newser had clearly stated like brokers and Ethereals are two different entities. And I had to dive deep into the archives. I had to go and ask ChatGPT, like, hey, look, I know this was said, where did they say it? And ChatGPT was like, oh, well, I found you this one website where it was mentioned. I was like, alright, cool. And in the website, what they said was, for now, the Ethereals and the brokers are definitely their own entities, but time might reveal differently. That was basically the gist of it, right? And now time has revealed differently, in which they've said, like, oh yeah, they actually have, like, a similar origin point, and then they separate themselves into the Shadowlands and into the Ethereals, right? Interestingly enough, we do have dialogue during the campaign in which Venari says to Xal'atath, "You better work with me. I have been in the Maw. I know what the Void fears." Now, she might be referring to having to be playing Shadowlands and actually having to do dailies in the Maw. Maybe the Void is just like all of us. Or it might be a reference to the Windrunner comic, in which, in that comic, we have Alleria, Verisa, and Sylvanas hanging out. Alleria has, of course, the voices of the Void inside of her head. And the moment Sylvanas shows up, the Void goes...
They have brought so many. They seek the complete annihilation of this place.
Kill her! She's an enemy of the state! Murder! And from that we were like, why is the Void so afraid of Sylvanas? Why must she die? Now it could have just been that the Void was desperately trying to convince Alleria to kill someone, right? Or there is something of a counterpower? Necromancy? The Void fearing death? And, well... say that things don't go well with Dimensius and Xal'atath, and the Void might have a hold on Azeroth in Midnight, you know. Maybe if Illyria falls to the darkness. If we need someone with, like, intimate knowledge on the Maw and the powers there and countering, I wonder who we could ask. I wonder who we could bring back into the story if and when that happens. I wonder. No, not the jailer. Shut up. The jailer is gone.
Your pursuit is pointless.
Not again.
Xal'atath lives. My oaths stand. This place falls.
Wait, Xal'atath lives? Oh, really?
All of this destruction for the traitor?
Oh, he's the one in front of Dimensions, ain't he?
I have no time for this. Tabat, be certain they follow no further.
Get rid of him.
No prey escapes me.
Alright.
You will not even touch her shadow.
Bet you I will. Bet you I totally will.
Strip your bones.
Oh, okay. I've been bound by this here javelin. Help, help me. So, you're telling me that these Ethereals, right? Like these
Claws of Koresh.
we have defeated Dimensius, and they still think they have a chance against us, is what I take away.
Unreachable.
Yeah, okay. Arcane Overload! Oh, cool! Whoa! 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 Neat!
Not me.
Ah, that's cool. You're running through the boss. Yeah, alright.
Oracle, I failed you.
Yo, epic! Epic!
We must stop Soul-Scribe.
Okie dokie. You were like 3 quests away to find that out. Oh. Aw, man. Oh, this is the dungeon instead of the whole army. I see. I see. Maybe we need the Primus, who may be the real jailer. Maybe. And what about the Cosmos Divided will not survive? Yeah. I mean, it's so vague. It could be applied to anything, right? Can I move while doing this? I cannot. Whee! And now we have a haste buff. Speed buff. Okay. The Maw could be to restore Arthas, and he is the key person to exterminate this Void Lord. Restoring Arthas. I don't think that is an option anymore. I'm pretty sure Arthas is gone for good. Turned into 20 anima that I use to upgrade my Sanctum and get some transmog. And even if they could restore Arthas, I really don't want them to. It's over. Alright, just let it be done. Let it be finished. Stop fucking around with Arthas. Alternate timeline Arthas. I don't... Stop. Stop hurting. He's already dead. Stop it. And what about Vol'jin? Oh, he definitely could have a part. Oh, yes, please. Vol'jin is currently chilling in a pod. And he has like lower powers in it, and he's restoring. So, yeah. But I love Arthas. I'm so sad. Yeah. But sometimes, if you love something, you need to let it go. I don't know, man. I'm kind of warming up to this one-button rotation, not gonna lie. Isn't there a way to, like, automatically use a button? Isn't there like, I don't know, from Microsoft, you can like macro your mouse key or something? That would be great. EU PTR servers offline. I'm on EU PTR right now, although I am in a dungeon. So I don't know if the world servers are offline, but I'm on EU right now.
You built this place on the High Temple of Koresh and questioned my wrath.
It was the only place our plans stood a chance of success.
The Revel brought nothing but destruction. You have no right to this power.
We did what?
We did fail you, but destroying the dome will only hurt Koresh.
Yeah, weren't you all about Koresh and the world so inside? Why are you hurting this dome? Alright. I don't have an interrupt, so I'm just gonna hit this thing. Murloc Timeline Arcfus? Now that's someone I could get behind. I'm still trying to figure out the pieces of the story, by the way. I still have no clue what's going on.
I will bring your works to ruin.
Yeah, okay.
One, come and die or flee in shame. A vision of your fate.
Whispers of Fate. Ooh. Oh, can she see the future now? Is that her power? Ow! Hey! Oh, that's not what we wanted.
A vision of your fate. Fate written in suffering.
Okay. I'm connected to this. Give it back. Yeah. Fate bound. I took my fate back.
What do your destinies offer?
I'm over there. Oh, you yoink your soul out of the spell and you get a buff. Leave the soul in it and it gets a debuff. Ah.
I write your destiny now.
Eternal Weave. Whoa. Oh, what? Someone's pinging. That's not for me, though. That's where my soul is at. Oh, and now that it's in there, it gets hurt. I see. Yo, why are you pinging? Leave me alone.
My enemies, unpunished.
Oh, there we go.
So much wasted. All to honor an oath for a dying, treacherous king. But there was always the greater oath to save Koresh.
Yeah, like, why are you following the king instead of... But you're not dead. You're actually... You're kneeling down. Okay. Interesting.
Everything I've done has been for Koresh.
Fanani, what the fuck's happening? I'm so confused. Inky Black Potion. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty though. So, where are we? In Ecodome Aldani. So, Ecodome Primus. Which one is Ecodome Aldani, I wonder? Not this one. Where is this Ecodome? Is it here? Separate islands. Oh, okay. And she was upsetty that they did something here. We must stop the Soul-Scribe. You build this temple. You build this place on the high temple of Karesh. And question my wrath. It was the only place that our plans stood a chance of success. The revel brought nothing but destruction. You have no right to this power. We did fail you, but destroying the dome will only hurt Karesh. So you're thinking that they're using the power of the world soul to feed their dome plans? So how come that's a surprise to them? I guess they just never visited the temple? Huh. What do you find out that the Devourers is misunderstood and that the true villain all along is the man called the Warden who was controlling the jailer? The issue with making the Void misunderstood is that the Void has driven people crazy. You are acting crazy. Like literally the Whispers and the Void and whatnot. We are not compatible with the Void. Oh, what is this? Ooh. I am one with the phase. I'm existing in the ethereal state of energy right now. I am one with the energy. Ah, the lo-fi. What is this? So, while we do have the story from Legion, the 1000-year war, where Illyria communicates with the world soul of Argus, and she talks about the Void and all the good stuff. To the Void, you're players, right? Yeah. To the Void, the light is this imprisoning, controlling force. To us, the light is more healing and saving. Now, you could argue, you know, we've definitely seen light go above and beyond. Think, for example, Illidan. I am my scars and all that. But in general, if you have to make the choice between the light and the Void... Oh, there's a thingy here. If you have to choose between the light and the Void, the light being the healing factor and the Void just driving you mad, you would go for the light, right? But does that mean that the Void is inherently evil? Nah, the Void is just, it exists. It's a cosmic force. I don't think the Void necessarily... click on this platform. I don't think the Void necessarily bothers about good or evil. It just is. It's the Void. And for us mortals who come out of an ordered universe, it drives us crazy. But if you ask an old god, they would say, nah, man, the domain of the Void, that's the cool place. With all the voices, you're never alone. That's the good life, right? So, matter of perspective, matter of things doing. And then the question becomes, like, the idea of, you know, the world soul inside of Azeroth and Warcraft in general. Like, what are we fighting for and what are we doing it for?
Put your hopes in the trust.
But that is a difficult, difficult one to answer because it's still very much being determined. Yeah, that's cool. Elf Lake. Not entirely wrong. Like, they wouldn't look misplaced in Azuna, for example. I got today a really good joke at work, but we think the Ethereal should be talking with a Netherlands accent because they're from the Nether. Ha ha ha! Grappig. Void, Shadowlands, same different forces? In essence. In essence, yes. So, again, like, lore is flexible and it will change, but what we know right now is that there's a cosmic... Does this mean... Oh, we can just walk through... No, we cannot. What we know right now is that there's a domain for each cosmic force in the universe. There's a light domain, void domain, order domain, chaos domain. From the domain of the Void, there are the Void Lords, and they really wanted to go into the physical universe, but they couldn't. So they manifested the old gods through the corrupting for them. But that does raise the question about the Titans. Like, the Titans are in the physical universe. Why do the Titans get to be here and the Void not so much? I mean, that's a question for scholars.